want to make people want, you don't want to make people do.
Getting your basic needs met to not be broke is copy something that's already working.
There is such a thing as closing clients without a sales call. I was flabbergasted.
If you can close clients paid in full over DMs, you could definitely close them on sales calls.
Because value-based content attracts practitioners. Let me say that again. Value-based content attracts sellers. Insight-based content attracts buyers. And ever since I switched to an insight-based approach, I started getting less copycats, but I started making more money because I think I was attracting the right people. So when I posted this, somebody asked me, what is the difference between value and insight? This guy helps people land jobs in software. So I said, value for you would be saying, use this template in your curriculum and send it. Insight for you would be, recruiters don't really care about you being class president. They want to see all your side projects on your curriculum. Make sure you include that because that actually increases your chances of getting hired. One is value, take this and run with it, do it. The other one is insight, just giving you a better understanding of the thing without actually telling you this is exactly how you do it. I think that the reason why insight works better than value, it's because you want to make people want, you don't want to make people do. When you give people too much value, they do. And they try stuff and they go with, yeah, Marcos, by the way, let me try this and then I'll get back to you if this works out. Whereas if you give them insight, it reveals that you have other insights. And I have found that it tends to attract a higher quality of prospects. Value is giving people the how, the little tactics, the send this DM. Insight is giving people the what, understanding something that they didn't know before. That is easier to create, easier to consume, and it attracts better people. So now, fuck value-based content. We only do insight-based content now. Like there's a time and place, right? But you gotta know where to put each. There's nuance here.
Yeah. You know, it's funny. I don't really get clients from value content. To be fair, like most of my clients come from inbound and referrals, and the inbound comes from insight-based content. Like, we did this for this person. Like, it's possible. It's like minimum value. It's like, I was just thinking about this. Like, it's really hard to get the kind of client I want without it just being like a referral or an inbound. It's very difficult to get them through outbound and like posting like value, like how to write a thread. Like it's never generated a client for me, and I don't know if it ever will, but I totally agree there. Like it's very difficult. I would say 0 clients have come from value content. Like whenever I post swipe files or how-tos, it just draws competitors and fucking like admirers, but it never draws people who want to work with me.
Yeah, it attracts sellers, not buyers.
Yeah.
So now, like, I think that the goal of let me give as much value as possible for free, I think that metric is flawed. I think the goal is let me give as much insight for free, because then people get interested in the value, which is what's behind. So this was big. This was a big realization that I came across, and now it's actually being very profitable. So I wanted to share it with the Likes and Cash podcast. But to give you another example so that this is like maybe clearer, I had a video where I gave out my DM scripts. It did pretty well in regards to other videos in my channel. I kind of regret doing that video because everybody started using the same DM scripts, and then I kind of fucked myself, right? It's like, shit.
Yeah,
that's what happened. But when I said, guys, by the way, the secret to this lead flow thing is don't just let people engage. You also got to DM the people who engage with your stuff, because every follow is an implicit request for information. And then they're like, holy shit, bro. That's the key. Do you have anything for that? And that's where sales come. Not from value, but from insight.
Yeah, you kind of went against your principles there. I feel like you were always, I'm never sharing scripts, and then you randomly just like shared the scripts.
Yeah, I changed my mind many times. I've changed my mind plenty of times in the past, but this one was a mistake.
Well, there's 2 things there. One is, I think for me anyway, like when it comes to doing the best, I think the highest quality setting or sell by chat scripts are just people who know how to have good conversations over text and just like know how to use marketing and persuasion to their advantage in that. So I think scripts are really just training wheels, and like you'll never actually hit peak performance if you don't just know how to have nuance and have a different conversation every time. I also think the other thing you said is, I think I tweeted this. It's actually one of my company values, but it's like, I love having like an innovators and an inventors mindset when it comes to business. And it's like you hip fire, spray and pray, throw so much shit at the wall, Like some things stick and some things don't. It's like what that Chamath meme where it's like, I'm in the arena trying things. Some things don't work. But like you have to have, you really do. You have to have that mindset if you want to create actual IP. And like, especially if you're in an industry where, you know, everybody's copy pasting the same shit, if you want to innovate and actually create unique IP that actually makes you valuable, you have to be able to try shit that just, you don't know if it's going to work. You try it, it didn't work. All right, next, you have to move fast. It's try shit and break things, right? It's like in Elon Musk's biography, in Tesla and SpaceX, he's like, the only laws we follow are the laws of physics. We're questioning everything. If there's a rule, who made the rule? What did they make the rule based on? I don't give a fuck about rules. Break the rules, right? So you got to have that mindset if you want to actually create IP. I think going from like zero, we've talked about this before, but I think going from zero to call it 10K a month, going from like getting your basic needs met to not be broke is copy something that's already working. And then to actually build a sustainable long-term business, you have to have your own IP and create a real brand and create real unique value for your clients. I think that comes from just trying shit and breaking things.
So what is an example of one thing that you were like, this is gospel, this works, but then you broke that rule and you found something better? If you don't have an example, I have an example, but I wanted to ask.
I have a million of those things, but I'd say one of those things would probably be the entire notion behind follower growth, kind of like the original ghostwriting offer, right? You kind of pioneered it, but like the OG offer from 2021, 2022 that everybody talked about was you get this many followers guaranteed, and then you do it for free if you don't get there, and you do a certain amount of retweets and all this stuff. I fucked that. I said, fuck that. I'm going to completely change this offer. I'm not going to guarantee growth. I'm going to try and get sales, and I'm going to hope it works. And it worked, and my offer completely changed. I was able to charge more money to get less followers because we're able to get sales to cover the cost of our retainer. And I think that was a huge shift, and I had to change how much content we were putting out based on like what I had originally learned. And I had to put out a different amount of content, different types of content. I had to put different kinds of ads, like all sorts of things that I just had to slowly throw at the wall. And like, yeah, I churned clients, and yeah, like some people couldn't get results at first, but I figured it the fuck out. And I was able to create a unique offer, and now no one has the offer I have. And now that's my IP, and I would never sell that for the world. There's a reason I don't tweet, I built my agency to $60K a month. It's just, I don't want to tell you how to do it. You know what I mean?
Will you tell me how to do it, Marcos?
Yes.
Oh, there you go. We just had a moment.
That'll be $5,000.
It's okay, man. If it can work, it works. I'll tell you one thing that changed my perspective. The need for calls to close clients. Bro, there is such a thing as closing clients without a sales call. I was flabbergasted. I was shook when I understood that this was a thing. Did they come to scold you? Are you making too much noise?
No, I hit my I have a pin board here with all my stuff, and I accidentally hit this, and I got scared when I was yawning.
What is that? What is that stuff? Is that a VR thing?
Apple Pencil. This is my AirPods case. That's my iPad. These are my blue light glasses, and these are like my military rewards.
Oh, nice. I thought it was like a eye mask or something.
Oh no, it's my AirPods case. AirPod
cool.
Max.
Cool. Well, there you go. Yeah. Good. Thank you for the clarification. Also, did you grow in New York City, New York?
What do you mean?
You ever watch that Theo Von thing? Is like, you know how people that are from New York, they like say it. What the hell, bro? Okay.
The vibes are on for this pod.
Yeah, there you go. Well, hold on.
He's got a lamp.
No. A turn on lamp, bitch. Vibes are on for this pod. Welcome to the Lex Cash podcast, boys. Okay, so sales calls, right? You don't need that, apparently. So when I started selling just via text, it was shocking to me that you could do something like that. And the key there is you gotta lower the now number in order to get instead of the big screenshots, because that may include a lot of volatility in the business. You go for LTV and recurrent revenue and getting people to actually stay. So that changed entirely how I think about business. Without sales calls, it's so less stressful, man, because you know what's the most stressful thing about having like a team, sellers, closer, sales manager and stuff? If you run a business by yourself and you don't have calls, it's like, okay, like it's kind of stressful. But knowing that they don't have calls because of you and they depend on you filling their calendar, that induced incredible amounts of stress on me, and I hated it. And now that we can do it without that, that completely changed my, like, how I thought about business. I didn't think this was possible, but here we are.
It's funny, Julia this past weekend, she just decided to like lock in this past weekend for the vibes, and she's like, I want to see how many leads I can just like close for the vibes. And she ended up closing like 2 paid in full, so 10K cash just over DMs with no calls, like literally paid in full with just voice notes. And she was able to close that this weekend and have a 10K cash weekend. Just feel like she was just like, just want to see if I can do it for fun. So we just worked all weekend, and we both closed clients, and it was fun. And she was able to do that over. I closed a sale over DM, and she closed 2 sales over DM. So we had a 16K cash weekend instead of going out and partying. Take that, Miami nerds. We don't party, so we just were like, let's just do that for the vibes.
Is it because you don't like it?
Yeah, I don't like it. I'm about to be 26. I went to college for 4 years, so like I kind of got my party bug out.
Right. Cool.
So yeah, but yeah, I agree. So it's definitely a tool. Whether you do sales calls or not, like I think it's important to have the ability to do it without sales calls. And I learned that this week, and I closed a client, pretty much my first client without a sales call this weekend. And she was able to do it twice just for fun. So it's a great tool to have. If you can do that, if you can close clients paid in full over DMs, you could definitely close them on sales calls. It's like, you know what I mean? It's definitely, I feel like it's a belief thing. It adds a lot of confidence to you. You know what I mean?